Mac Man, what's good, bro?
Yeah, what up, bro? Dub. Dub, man, what's up, bro?
Hey, man, feeling good to be back in the business again.
Year
Back in the
2021.
business, 2021. Back in the business of doing things,
Yeah.
podcasting and stuff,
Come
man.
on,
It's
man.
good to see you.
Yeah, come on, bro. It's a good feeling, man.
Hey,
we
man.
survived.
Facts.
We survived 2020, bro.
Oh, it's bleeding into 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know who gave the idea that 2021 was supposed to be better than 2020. You know,
Nah, I kind of figured things were gonna be a little different, slightly.
I mean, honestly, man,
I still feel that way though. I'm still hopeful 2021 is gonna be the year of like peace and harmony and restoration. It may come right at the end, but I think we're gonna get there.
Nah, bro, winter is coming.
Someone's been watching Game of Thrones.
The
Cersei
long night
and them
is
is
coming.
coming.
The long night is coming. Yeah, bro. Nah, man, I think it's gonna get worse, bro. You know, I mean, I'm hoping not. You know, affecting. I mean, it's gonna affect the individuals because COVID has affected individuals.
Sure.
You know, but I still feel like on a large scale, it ain't getting it's not getting any better, bro.
I don't like the sad tone in your voice, bro.
I mean, it's not a sad tone. It's because I expect, those who I'm connected to, like yourself, my friends and family to still prosper, but just the fate of the world, I feel a little sense of realism. It's like, this year has pretty much brought a lot of the stuff that we saw on, science fictional movies and,
Jesus.
video games, bro. Like 2020 has shown us that this is possible. Like, it's no longer a figment of our imagination or the figment of Hollywood's imagination.
Mm-hmm.
It's here. Like, just a week ago we had a a potential coup in the
insurrection.
Yeah, like
That's like that's the hot word.
Yo, come on,
Insurrection.
bro. Like, I was looking for Gerard Butler to come out. You know what I mean? Like, Olympus is falling. Bro, like, yo, where was Gerard? Yeah.
Yo, well, this is why I'm excited, man. We're back,
Yeah.
right? A brand new episode of A Difference of Opinion.
That is true.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mac Man is here.
Come on. Dub
is here.
Yes, sir.
And we're here to set the record straight
Come on.
about things, man. We're here to kick 2021 off to a great start.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I think I'm loving the fact that we're kind of doing this on us, man. Not based off of how wildly the world is changing, but just kind of our values as just men and black men.
Oh,
in our society, and the things that we have to overcome, things that we have to, compromise on, things that we have to just understand is the ways of the world. So I'm happy, bro. I'm happy. I feel like, we're gonna pluck some chickens,
It's gonna
shake
be
some hands and kiss some babies.
Okay, we can do that, but I think that these upcoming topics are gonna be a little
Rough around the elbow.
Yeah.
But they need to be.
Ruffle little feathers.
Yeah, we need
That's
to do
okay.
that.
That's what. If anything, if 2020 taught us anything, it's okay to ruff the feathers.
Yeah, it's
like they'll
needed.
be able to handle it. People will be able to handle it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if people will be able to handle it, but they ain't got no choice.
Okay, I'll go with that one.
Yeah, they don't got no choice. If you tuning in, then it's my opinion. It's my opinion. You came to hear mine. You know what I mean? You get your own show if you want to hear yours. You know what I mean? You came to hear Dub and Mac's opinion and the difference thereof.
Look, It's a difference of opinion podcast show. Miss Kick Rocks is J-Dub and Kelly Max a go. For the people, for the culture, for the truth, for the love, never hate. Spotify is for the Jews. Bringing the heat all season. A difference of opinion podcast. We the reason.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I heard that line right there. The difference thereof.
The difference thereof.
I'm gonna throw that in promotion somewhere. I promise you that.
Yeah,
Y'all gotta see that.
Facts, bro. All right, so first, or the topic of conversation today is ultimatums. Ultimatums, and specifically in relationships.
Yes. Are they good for relationships? Are they bad for relationships? I personally am not a fan of ultimatums.
Yeah, bro. I'm not either, bro. I think ultimatums in some sense, form, and fashion are necessary.
Explain, please.
Yeah, I think if you're a partner that's continuously being cheated on, and this person, keeps doing it, you keep forgiving them, all right, then you need to make an ultimatum, and not necessarily, and this my ultimatum may necessarily.
You need to leave at that.
Well, agreed, but you're obviously there for a reason.
That's an easy ultimatum.
Yeah, but people aren't making those ultimatums. Yeah, I mean, somebody whooping your tail. Yeah, I mean, you're not making easy ultimatums.
Those aren't even, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there should be an ultimatum in those situations.
There should.
Like, if someone's constantly cheating on you should probably just leave.
Yeah.
If someone's whooping on you, it only takes that one time. You should leave.
Agreed.
Right? Like, I can't see myself being like, man, if you hit me one more time after being hit the fifth,
but
I'm not giving anyone a chance to get the sixth.
I know, but that's us. That's us. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people, and surprisingly, also men that are in abusive relationships. That
I
don't
always
know
find that hard to believe.
Bro.
I've never yet to hear a man come forth and say, my woman's been beating me
But that's
for
the
multiple
thing.
years.
But that's the thing. What man is going to come out and say it?
But what man
they're going to
was-
suffer in silence, bro.
No, what man stays in a relationship where their woman is beating on them?
Maybe ones that are fathers, so they take, wanting to keep a household together. You're the leader of your household. So now, when mom raises up, now because you don't want to show your children that, oh, daddy hit mom. Because at the end of the day, gender roles are here, or gender identities are here. And there's still, if a man hit a woman, it's completely different than a woman hitting a man, and the responsibility thereof still lies on the man to do so.
I don't know. I think that's opening up.
To what?
Like, as far as the law, like authorities. I think cops used to laugh at the fact of a man getting hit by a woman. Now it's like, nah, we're just gonna drag her into the precinct.
Because at this point, given time, now we're realizing that women are just as abusive.
Yeah. But again, I don't know if any person in any man in an abusive relationship with a woman.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe with a man and a man, maybe, but not with.
I know men that are in abusive relationships with women, bro.
You know of personally,
bro.
And what's their logic for staying together,
bro? It's the whole family aspect, bro. It's me having to be responsible for your lash outs. Like, women are okay to express themselves emotionally, right? We give them that space there because they're emotional creatures, right? While men can't really express their emotions, we not until it's too late, and you're either doing something completely off the wall, or doing something dastardly. But men aren't supposed to show their emotions. Women are given that space to do that. So when a woman explodes, goes off, and hits you, you have to take accountability and say it's based off of her being angry. She don't know that I'll knock her ass out. You know what I mean? Her mind isn't really, her emotions are taking over, right? As opposed to if a man loses control of his emotions and mollywops a joint, then he's out of pocket. He's immediately out of pocket.
Well,
He should have walked away. He should have turned his back.
Yes.
No.
Well, he's the aggressor.
Oh, how is he the aggressor
Well,
when he's
I'm
been
sorry,
hit first?
he's not the aggressor, but he's the stronger person, physically stronger person out of the relationship. So therefore, you are to show more restraint. Plus, and again, this goes back to at least some of the core things I believe in the Bible, right? I believe as the men we hold a higher standard and stronger responsibility in the family core itself.
Yeah.
So therefore, because we bear more responsibility, we're supposed to be the protectors. We can't be the protectors and the beaters at the same time.
I agree, but we're talking about men who feel like if their women lash out because there's
so many different avenues to go down. Why do you have to hit a person?
Well, but why don't you put that? Why don't you're saying? And the way you're saying it is to why does the man have to hit somebody?
No, see, you want to make it that way.
Oh, okay, all right.
No,
all right, I stand corrected.
No, if you're a grown ass person, right, whether male or female,
Whether you identify as man,
whatever you identify with, it's too much for me to follow these days. But whatever you identify with. If you're a human being and you're grown, right, you should be able to control your emotions. You shouldn't put your hands on anybody because there's consequences that come from that. Period. Right.
Agreed.
Now, with women, clearly, everyone at the end of the day, both men and women, need to figure out a way to blow off their steam without physically touching somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
In a perfect world.
Right. I don't even think the world needs to be perfect. I think people just need to learn how to blow off steam without touching somebody.
But how are you going to do that in a world stance?
Go to the gym, nigga. Take a run. I don't know. Like, there's so many different things. Listen, if I've ever gotten angry, at any of, anyone that I'm with, right? I've never put hands on, not even to shake them or to control them or anything like that, right? I've actually let a woman hit me before, just because I'm like, all right, you want to get your aggression out. I was actually in the wrong, so I let it happen. But at no point, even when I was getting dumped on, I was like, I'm going to go ahead and lash out. No, I got out the car, took my walk, and I called it a day. Or if I did get angry at any point, which I'm really not an angry guy like that, but if I do get frustrated, I go take a walk. I go to the gym. I go hang out with some people. I blow off steam. People want to inflict this pain like that's not going to cause more emotional pain at the end of the day.
I agree to your standpoint that you did the right thing.
We way off the topic. Though.
I know. I'm completely off.
We'll come back to Ultimatums. The show can go anywhere, man. You know what I mean? Our direction is crazy sometimes.
Facts. I mean, yeah. We're going to get back on Ultimatums. But to your point, I'm glad that you took the step out. Mm-hmm. However, where is her accountability for putting hands on you in the first place?
Well, I allowed it.
How would you not allow?
That was just me personally allowing it.
How would you not allow hands to be put on?
I would have gotten out the car much earlier. And I would have walked away.
Oh, okay. So
I would have ran away.
So you could have prevented the hands being laid on you.
Yeah. Anyone can prevent hands from being laid on them for the most part. Unless they're trapped in there's always a getaway.
Okay.
There's always a getaway. And I
think you're downplaying the quickness of the woman hands. Women got hands in this day and age.
I'm downplaying the quickness of anybody's hands. But you know what works? This is what effectively works. De-escalation.
Yeah.
Let that be like the word of the day whenever anyone gets upset. Just let that run through your mind a little bit. How can I de-escalate? Right? This person's upset at me. How do I diffuse it? Not enough people think about that. I know people that will egg an angry person on. Why? What good comes out of that? And that's what happens. And I will say, I do see it happen a lot of times with women. They'll egg a dude on for whatever reason, as if this guy's not 100 pounds over you, 3 feet above you. Like,
because they want people they want people to see the monster that they're trying to portray of you. That's why they egg you on.
You're indoors. Like, what are you exposing to people? You want to expose, like, especially if y'all have kids. You want to expose to your kids that your man is a beater.
Yeah.
Now that's a what do you call it? Vindictive? person?
Vindictive, divisive.
Divisive person?
Yeah, like we see it often where people want you to you to show your true colors if I provoke you, so everybody can see. See, look, he gets crazy. Look, yo, he's a madman.
He's a maniac.
Yeah, like after you done provoked me,
He's like Hulk.
yeah, like no, okay, but to this point where you were talking about, I think there needs to be steps. I also think there needs to be steps until you get to an ultimatum, right? I think.
Okay. Oh, we on the topic now. Okay. This is a good transition.
Yeah, I think there should be steps before an ultimatum should be used. Now, I'm assuming when we talk about ultimatum, at least in my personal life, anytime there's been an ultimatum is when there's come a crossroad in expectation, right? Her expectation is here, my expectation is here, and we're at a crossroads, right? Now, a lot of times that we're at this crossroads, I don't think men understand that they're at this crossroads. Because and again, I can only speak for self in a lot of cases.
No. Let me just pause you for a moment, right? When you're talking about ultimatums, so give like an example for me so I can understand fully of what you're talking about.
The most simplest one is, hey, you gonna either put a rock on his finger or we done.
So you're already in a relationship.
Let's say anything as far as going to the next level of in whether you're dating, wanting to go to being in a full blown exclusive relationship, whether you're in a relationship wanting to go to engagement,
Right.
And vice, or so on and so forth.
Okay.
It's this crossroad where we're just at this impasse, and I think that's dangerous. And dangerous in the sense, not physically as far as actual danger, but you're forcing somebody or demanding on somebody to give you an answer to something that they may or may not be ready to provide, in hopes that they'll choose you.
Okay.
Because nobody wants to give the ultimatum and lose out on it, unless it was just a bad situation to begin with. Then, like you said, you probably you should have been left. If that's the case. But you're giving somebody an ultimatum because you love a person so much that you just want them to finally choose you or choose your side. So you're giving them this hard pass.
What's wrong with that?
I think there's a lack of compassion.
Please explain. Lack of compassion.
I think there's a lack of compassion and understanding. I think going back to what we kind of just said before, that women are allowed to express themselves emotionally, whereas men feel as though it's a sign of weakness to express yourself emotionally, right? Men aren't going to be the best conveyors of information, especially if they feel it as weakness or something that may not be a strong suit. Women, on the other hand, are going to express themselves regardless. They're going to tell you how they feel. This is the way they feel. This is what you made me feel like, because I need you to address my emotions. I need you to address my feelings here, right? All right.
Okay.
All right. Now, let's say a man has been hurt before, right? Because there's this idea, this misconception that men don't suffer from hurt. They don't suffer from emotional stress, from relationships, that is. Like a man's heart can't be broken, right? All right. Now, even if a man has tried his best to mend his heart, therefore he's in this relationship with you, then you got to at least give him space to really, I don't want to say blossom into this, but get himself ready for the next stage. Like,
all right. So here's the question then. How long does a person wait? I think that's like most women's question. Like, how every time I speak to a female friend in regards to relationships, and I speak to a lot of them, the question is, Jason, how long should I wait? 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? And I've even posed this question to certain dudes, like, well, how long do you expect a woman to wait? I mean, I've heard up to numbers of like 10 years, or up to, well, when I'm ready, and that doesn't even have a number on it. That can be infinity, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's, most women, they want to feel like they're progressing in their relationship. So when they ask that question, is because they've come to a point where it's like, okay, well, we seem to be good together. You know, you're doing the things you're supposed to do. I'm doing the things we're supposed to do. We have this great vibe connection. Why not transition to the next step? Now, of course, I have my own beliefs on marriage and relationships and stuff like that. But just to take that out of the loop for a minute and to just focus on how what women are thinking, the question is then, okay, if she does provide you that ultimatum, and she does say, "Hey, where are we going?" Why the clinch up, or why the reluctance to really have that conversation, which I feel like there's a lot of men are reluctant to have.
All right, so to your first question, how long should the other person wait? I think that's a good question, but I think that also should require you to do some self-reflection to kind of see where you are in the relationship period. I know that you have these goals of more, right? But where are you currently, and are you happy currently? You know, just because we're not more does not mean that we're less. You know, just because, you know, I may not have called you my girlfriend doesn't mean that you don't hold weight the same. You know, it's like
But in their minds, it does, because especially if you're.
But it's in their mind.
No, hold on, but there may be validity to what's in their minds. No, hear me out. Now, if you're in a relationship and you're trying to transition to marriage, I can understand that mindset. Like, you know, listen, there's not a difference in how I feel towards you whether we get married or in a relationship. I'm with you, we're happy, da da da. However, if you're in a dating relationship and you guys haven't transitioned into a relationship where there's exclusive, being exclusive, then I can understand the woman's concern, because then you're still open bait to now be captured by somebody else, which in hindsight, you're always open bait.
At any point in time. Yeah.
But, you know, when you have that exclusive title on, it brings about a certain security for women. So I can understand them wanting to transition, and I think that's the whole purpose of an ultimatum, is to have you reflect on, okay, well, should I take the next step? You know, so that is the woman's way, or even the man's way, because men give ultimatums too, to have the next person think about, okay, does it make sense to transition to the next phase? And my thing is, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, I think that that idea of security is very fragile, right? Because here it is, you want your level of security is based off whether or not I claim you or not, or based off whether or not we're now going to take this next step. But let's say out of
what
one,
you're not going to do is assassinate me with these women. I'm not totally saying all their security is.
I'm not assassinating you. If anything, I'm assassinating me, because I'm
They're going to be like, no, Jay, that's not what we're talking about.
No, you're
security
evidently
within the relation. I'm secure as a woman. No, I totally get that part.
But
wanted to make that clear.
But no. My thing is, I think the level of insecurity comes again from thinking this is all right. He says that I'm his one and only. All right, now let's say I know that that's what you want. I know I just need to kind of keep you happy. So I tell you what you want to hear, right? Because I want to keep this thing that we got right here, you know. But you've put me at a hard pass, right? I may not be ready to cross that border with you yet.
But that's the thing. What are the holdups? I think the women want to know, what are the holdups?
But you focus on the wrong thing.
Because that's the question.
Because a lot of the times it's not about them. It's about us trying to get in this idea. You like what we're saying is, and to a man, our freedom is, I think, key, right? I think to anybody's
so you being stripped of your freedom by getting into an exclusive relationship?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Okay, and we're talking about again the dating.
Right. So, but again, that seeps into, does that not seep into the security of a woman feeling like he's mine? Because now you're talking about freedom. Freedom to do what exactly?
Yeah, to explore without you necessarily being hurt in the situation. Like I think the biggest thing with relationship, right, and trying to steer clear or dealing with ultimatums is before it becomes an ultimatum, being open about and honest about where you are. Right. If you can communicate it and effectively communicate it to another person that, hey, this is where I'm at. These are my shortcomings. These are some of the issues that I've had in other relationships. Then hopefully, because we met at different places, probably, you know, maybe the same interests, maybe the same commonalities, but still having different experiences, and now we're coming together to hopefully share our worlds, right? There's already, I got my world, you got your world. My world was happening long before you came along, and vice versa. But now here it is, I have to share this world. Now, what if I've shared this world in the past and have been bit in the ass for it? Then naturally, I'm going to share it piece by piece until I feel comfortable that I can completely give my world over to you.
See, now that opens a totally different conversation for dealing with like trauma, right, and dealing with hurt from past relationships. And my point of view on that is I don't believe people should get into relationships if they haven't moved past or dealt with or even begin to deal with what they've been through, right? So my thing is like heal yourself, right? Because there's a part of me where I feel like it's kind of selfish to enter into another relationship and you haven't even dealt with what's going on.
Right.
Or if you're going to enter into another relationship, then you enter into that relationship bearing it all out for
Right,
the next
right.
person so that they understand your hesitation, right? So so that to me that minimizes the chances of an ultimatum.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, okay, I know I need to take my time. But even in that, it's you got to get past your trauma at some point.
Agree, but I guess you gotta, if somebody is honest enough to give you that bare nakedness, that hey, this is what I went through in my relationships and my dating experiences, so this is where I am. I'm not trying to rush anything, but I do want to build. You will never know how strong you are until you actually try to pick up the weight. You know, like a lot of times I hear that you need to heal yourself first. And a lot of times I don't know if a person truly knows if they're healed or not until they try it again. They don't know if they've gotten over the fear until they put themselves out there again. So if that's the case, again, I got to be honest enough to tell you, hey, these were my fears and I'm trying to overcome my fears by dealing with you. But I'm also not trying to rush this thing because I don't know, right? Now, if you say, all right, I can dig that, you're worth me putting time into, then months later, you know, without having another conversation of, hey, where are you at now? What's the expectation? But now that your time clock has now reached its limit, now all of a sudden, now I got to make a decision based off of your time clock.
But I hear you. But again, I think it goes back to what is your time clock, right? And it sucks to have to or to even attempt to put a time clock on trauma, right? Or a previous bad relationship. That kind of sucks. But again, this is why I would say prior to getting into a relationship, you need to come to a resolve of that for yourself because you're hurting the next person, right? You're gonna hurt the next person that you're with because they're good, right? Or they've gotten over their trauma, right? Or they're assisting you in getting over your trauma, but you just not you holding on to it and not letting it go.
Right.
At what point do you let it go? At what point, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think everybody deals with trauma in a relationship. You know, it's just different forms of it, right? I got to have patience for yours, just like you got to have patience for mine if I'm worth it to you.
So then why not continue to move it? And again, I don't necessarily advise of this, but why not continue to transition through the motions of these different titles or whatever the case might be, if you know that the two of you guys are going to be working with it. Like if I'm comfortable with the person that I'm with and I know that they have this genuine love for me, and they're helping me. I can see my growth and my maturity and my progression through my trauma. Why wouldn't I continue to want to be with them in the next phase? Because I seem to be getting better. Now, it's one thing if you're not growing with this person, then it makes sense to move. All right, well, bye.
Yeah.
But if you're growing, then what's the hesitation in transitioning into the next stage?
I think sometimes, and this could be my own understanding of it, but people would rather force you into a relationship to keep you from other people than to say that you're mine, right? It's not necessarily that it's all about I have to make you mine. It's more so can't nobody else get you, right? If I'm already showing that I'm here, right? I'm already showing that I'm investing time. Then what does the other people even matter?
Because again, just using your words.
Yeah.
You want your freedom. Right?
Yeah.
Your freedom to explore.
Yeah.
So if you so then again, if you're in a space where you want your freedom to explore, this person wants to prevent that. They don't want you to explore to see other options because they don't want to lose you, which is fair.
Right.
Would you say that's fair?
Oh, yeah.
So if your reason for not transitioning is because you want your freedom or you're dealing with your trauma or both, and you have an open door to explore, and this person, yes, while they're reaping a lot of these benefits, they know there's a possibility someone can swoop in there and reap these benefits as well.
Yeah.
So they're gonna want that exclusive lockdown so that.
Yeah.
And again, I say this again. I'm just making points that I've heard other women make.
Absolutely.
Even if you're in the next stage, you can still be free to do whatever you want to do.
I mean, agreed.
Even when you're married, you're free to do whatever you want to do.
Would you rather not have gone that step and that person still explored it? Because my thing is, all right, let's just be honest about it. Let's just be truthful about it. Because if I tell you, yeah, let's go ahead and do it for the sake of just not letting you go, you're a good girl. Yeah, I know you're a good girl, but for my own reasons, my own convictions, I'm not ready to go to the next level. But I don't want to necessarily let you go. Do I then be selfish enough to say, yeah, you know what? I'm about to make you my girl. But in my heart of hearts, I'm still free to explore.
No. I don't think you should transition to any level of relationship status if like you're not ready to do that, right? However, I don't think you should hold on to anybody. I think if someone said, "Listen, we need to make a decision on this," and you're like, "I'm not ready," then you need to let that person go. Right, and let them find someone who is willing to take that next step with them. And who knows? That whole relationship might piggyback itself around and y'all might wind up being together anyway. And maybe y'all needed that space to be apart, right? But ultimatums, I think when ultimatums are given, I think that's the time for whoever the ultimatum is given to, for them to reflect on the relationship as a whole and then determine, like, does it make sense to move forward? And why am I not moving forward? And then convey that to the next person.
Yeah, I think when I think of ultimatums, they never come off as smoothly as you just put it, bro. Yeah,
that's because
we're having a good conversation about it. Normally, when ultimatums come, they come in the most. Yeah, I mean,
the delivery of them may not be the best.
It's never. And as a grown man, I don't do well with like being told what I'm going to do. Like that just doesn't move me to do it. You know, in most cases it's going to move me to do opposite because now, you know, you fighting it.
See, but again, here's my thing. You can't fight like petty with petty. So for instance, right? Delivery is very important to me, right? Now, over the years have worked on not listening to the way somebody says something, but what they're saying to me, right? So what that's helped me do is it's helped me get past whatever petty level you came at me with, right? You want to yell or rant or tell me I need to do this and say, okay, well, what is this person really conveying to me? And then shift the argument from that aggressive tone to what it needs to be.
It's so good.
It's so good, but again, because one, I'm not a confrontational person. I don't do well. I shut down. I'll just listen to you all day.
Yeah.
In my head. Yeah.
Yeah.
So instead of doing that and ignoring you, I'd rather say, okay, well, what are you thinking about? Okay, where's this coming from? Okay, that's where it's coming from. Okay, now it's on me. What do I see in this person? Can I go long term with this person? Does it make sense? No? You know what? Maybe we just need time apart. If it does make sense, then okay, what's preventing me from transitioning? And then I have to consider that and take care of that. But I need to convey that to my partner. I need to let them know this is what's holding me back right now. I'm not financially stable. I don't have what I imagine having at this point in my life, being in a relationship with you. I want a house. I want the dog with the fence and the this and that and whatever it is people want. Or I'm still scared. And I think men have a hard time even saying that.
Yeah.
Like they're scared. Like, yo, I'm scared. I'm scared of getting my heart broken. I'm scared of breaking your heart. Right now, there's a spirit in me that still wants to sow my royal oats, right? Still want to run the streets. And I don't want to hurt you. So I want to keep this door open for me to do that while we're together. And if that's much for you, I understand. And then you put it back on them. But I find much times that men and women, they're so hung up on like the fact that someone gave them the ultimatum. Like, fuck you mean ultimatum, nigga? Like, it's like, okay, well, let's get past that part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, because most of the times they don't come at the time where we can just talk and converse about it. And I think that, even when you feel like you're getting to a
But I'll say this: I think that's your job as the man. I think that's our job as the men to transition the conversation to where it needs to be. I don't not to say it's not their responsibility, but they're already at 1,000. So
what are women accountable for?
A lot. They're like, I don't know, nigga. Listen, I know what I want us as men to be accountable.
Yeah, I know, bro. I know. It's just
what's wrong with us being accountable?
Nothing. I think a lot of the errors in our society is because men aren't being accountable.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm with you. It's just in this
like,
year.
I'm gonna let a woman tell the women what they was about. I don't know what a woman is accountable for outside of. I do know this. I know our women do their best to love us to death, and I know that men haven't had the best track record of doing right by the women who love us the best. So I would, and that's not to speak necessarily ill will of you or me, but I know I've had my era.
Yeah.
And all I can focus on now is how do I become a better man in this relationship that I'm in. I can't focus necessarily on her if I'm not like improving myself. I know I'm.
Come on, bro. Come on, man. Preach, man.
Come on, man.
Come
Did you hear that?
Come on, preach. The year 2021 of our Lord.
I can't help her.
Yeah, facts. No,
if I don't help myself first, I gotta help myself first.
I agree.
And I think if we cut it there, I think that resolves a lot of because women are just naturally emotional, man. Like they're gonna go there. It's unfortunate, but it is.
Yeah.
So why be emotional with them? Right? They've already labeled us non-emotional. Yeah. So, let's take some of that labeling of, being these disconnected men or what I like to call just being logical in certain cases and be logical about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Love, it's a difference of opinion podcast show. Miss Kick Rocks is J-Dub and Kelly Max a go. For the people, for the culture, for the truth, for the love, never hate. Spotify is for the Jews. Bringing the heat all season. A difference of opinion podcast, we the reason.